Like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it, you know. Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Stay on the scene. Get on up. Like a sex machine. Get on up. Get up, get on up. Get up.
Welcome back. Third episode, MG and the BOD. MG, what's going on, my man?
Listen, Joe, I am in the zone right now. We're in episode 3. I feel like we're rolling in mid-season form, although the season just ended.
Which is an awful time of year for all you NFL fans out there. It's hard this time of year for us.
It's very hard. I'll tell you who's happy is the wives.
Oh, they're thrilled.
The wives are happy.
Every wife and girlfriend out there,
Is
they
excited.
make up their list of like the Lowe's and the Michaels and the craft stores. This is terrible.
That's why they come to the Super Bowl. It's like a celebration.
Right,
They come
ending.
to Super Bowl parties because it's a celebration of getting their husbands back.
This is every man's apocalypse.
Little do they know that they're going to be tuning into MG and the BOD, and they're still going to be ignoring them.
Yeah, which is, it's a win-win for everybody if you think
understand.
about it. Let's get into it right off the bat. Super Bowl 49.
What a game.
Awesome.
What a game.
Awesome game.
What a game.
What'd you think?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think the better team won. I think the New England Patriots were the better team that day. I think they outplayed them the entire game. But when it comes down to it, Seattle was on the 1-yard line with 21 seconds left, and they lost the game. I think they lost the game more than New England won the game, if that makes sense to you.
Of course it does.
Just like when Seattle played the Green Bay Packers were the better team that day, but Seattle managed to win somehow. And the Super Bowl was going the way of that NFC Championship game because Seattle had really no business winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
But they were still 1 yard away from winning it. And I don't know what Pete Carroll was thinking. I know I'm not alone on that. The entire universe is talking about it. He is the subject of internet fodder.
Yes, good word.
Yes, I know.
Let me tell you something. I'm not opposed to throwing a pass down there. However, you don't throw that pass into so much traffic. Joe, he threw the ball late if you really break it down because he had him initially off the slant. He did, initially, but he waited a tenth of a second too long, and that caused them to lose the game, essentially.
Hear me out.
You throw a fade route. You play it safe.
Hear me out here. I don't hate the play call. I hate the time that they called the play.
Okay.
Okay? When you're on the 1 yard line, you have a guy, Marshawn Lynch, that literally will run through a brick wall if you ask him to. You give him the ball on second down. You give him the ball on third down. If you throw it on fourth and you don't get it, all right. But I would still give it to him on fourth down also.
Yeah. 100%.
That's what really irks me is that you have Marshawn Lynch. The guy is the hardest runner in the NFL, and you throw the ball on second down. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, listen, I think I agree with everything you said. My opinion, the better team did win the Super Bowl. They are the most complete team of the two. The first half of this game was a stalemate, I thought.
It was a
very
defensive
battle. Defensive battle. We're going to run the ball. No, we're going to run the ball. We're going to stop you. I thought it was awesome. If you're a fan of great defensive play and low scoring like I am, the first half was golden.
Well, it wasn't that low scoring, though, Joe. Let's talk about, let's rewind.
Right.
And let's talk about our Super Bowl preview show.
Right.
And let's talk about how MG, myself, was 1 yard away from almost correctly predicting the exact score.
Very impressive feat.
Will you just give me some props?
Listen, I'll give credit where it's due. The guy was right there. But that's what's great about MG and the BOD. If one of us doesn't get it, he's close. But the other one will get it, and he's close. It's a win-win for the people.
It's a win-win.
And that's what we're doing this show for. It's the people now and their children.
Well, we definitely don't know everything.
But we definitely know more than you.
We definitely know more than you.
I predicted that the Patriots would win. I said 27-17, and of course the final was 28-24, giving the Patriots their fourth Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
Under the Tom Brady era.
Listen, you gotta give credit where credit due. They were the better team.
No doubt about it. And what's great about this game is that you have a guy like Chris Matthews who comes on this scene out of nowhere.
Oh my God!
4 catches. What do you have? 103 yards.
He's a big target.
6'4", 215. With wheels?
He introduced himself on the grandest stage of all.
Yeah.
He introduced himself to the world.
That kid stepped up in a great time. And I don't talk to Pete Carroll on the regular. Every now and again I might say hello to him. But maybe he was their X factor. Maybe they wanted to showcase him because of the matchup. And he's succeeded in doing his job. He really did. He put them in great position to move the ball down the field every time.
With New England secondary, they had to find some kind of quote unquote secret weapon. With Revis out there and Browner out there, you had to find some kind of
great secondary.
Gosh, one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Revis. I'm happy he got a Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, a veteran player, all-pro guy, most likely a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm happy he got it.
He deserves it. He's come a long way.
He has.
That's what the University of Pittsburgh does. Just comes out and they just produce excellence.
Excellence.
Also, it's funny. Everybody's talking about the Pete Carroll not running the ball with Marshawn Lynch play, but we are one bobbled pass away from potentially never being in that predicament.
Oh, my God.
I mean, could you imagine if New England lost like that again?
Again.
What the hell?
With another ridiculous catch.
It was an insane. First off, the defensive play on the ball, the guy was right there. The guy was able to cover him.
Great coverage.
Fantastically.
Yeah, it's great coverage.
But the ball bounces in such a funny way in this game, doesn't it?
Unbelievable.
It's insane. But in conclusion, I thought that this was a great Super Bowl, one of the best we've seen in a while. From two great teams, I thought. These were two of the best teams in football. I definitely think the better team won. And it's going to be a really great offseason, we think.
It is going to be a great offseason. I'm going to tell you what, MG and the BOD is going to be here with you throughout the entire offseason. We're going to start with NFL draft analysis. We're going to talk about some free agents. And right now we're going to take a quick 5-second station identification. We're gonna bring up our upcoming schedules on the screen right now to let you know when we're coming back to you on YouTube, which you can search us on YouTube at MG and the BOD. But before we do cut the break right now, there is a few people I'd like to thank.
This is special.
It's it's in the Twitter world.
Yeah.
The Twitter world. In today's society, social media is just runs the world. And when you can have some people helping you out, getting your name out there, it
means a lot to us.
It means a lot to us. So we want to thank.
Appreciate it.
We want to thank a few people right now, starting off with our Twitter guy, Mr. Brian Zedarecki.
B Boogie.
His Twitter handle is at ZEDZ51111. He is a Twitter monster, and he is a big, big fan of MG and the BOD. We thank you, Brian.
Can't thank you enough, B Boogie. Our next follower, this is a cool one, I think.
This was really cool.
For me, this is one of my all-time favorites growing up. Number 93, the Gravedigger, Gilbert Brown, Pro Bowl guy, Super Bowl champion. His Twitter handle, if you want to follow him, is at Gilbert Brown. One of the great pack of defensive linemen.
I'm going to top your cool Twitter.
Well, it's on your opinion of garbage.
I had Kelly Pagula.
She's wealthy.
I know she is. Some of you people might not know who Kelly Pagula is. Let me tell you who Kelly Pagula is. She is the owner's daughter, the owner of the Buffalo Bills' daughter. Her Twitter handle is at @KPagula. She retweeted MG and the BOD. She's a fan of the show. We want to thank you, Kelly Pagula.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you very much. We also had another Buffalo Bill.
This is a good one, too.
One of my favorites. Steve Tasker. His Twitter handle, at SteveTasker89. Another fan of MG and the BOD. We can't thank you enough. Give us 5 seconds. Station identification. Brought to you by MG and the BOD. We'll be right back. Well, there you have it, folks. Our upcoming schedule just came up on the screen there. And due to popular demand, Joe, because the people have spoken, we instead of having one show a month up until the NFL draft, we actually added 3 more shows.
We give the people what they want.
2 shows a month now up until the NFL draft. Our next show is coming at you February 23rd, and you can search us on YouTube, MG and the BOD. And if you want to see old episodes, new episodes, we're there.
We are at your disposal 24/7.
Absolutely. Let's get right back into it, Joe. Let's fire some free agents at you.
Yes, I love this time
I know.
of year. A lot of things are going to change. The dynamic of the NFL could slowly shift to where those bad teams may turn much better.
Absolutely.
Quickly, too.
Because there's a lot of good ones out there.
Yes.
There's a lot of good ones. So, you know what? There's so many of them out there that we really can't go through all of them.
Too much.
So let's just rapid fire here. I'll shoot you 3, you shoot me 3.
Okay.
And then we'll see what we think.
Okay, I'll give you one first, right off the bat.
Go ahead.
Tight end, Jordan Cameron. What do you think?
Jordan Cameron, I think he's an elite tight end. I think he was stuck in Cleveland. I think he was in a rut in Cleveland. Going to give you the short answer here. I think he's going to Atlanta Falcons. I think he's going to thrive with Matt Ryan.
Replacement from Tony Gonzalez.
That's
a great spot.
They've been looking since Tony Gonzalez left.
They need an outlet underneath. I think that's a great one to have.
All right, let me fire one at you right now. A good wide receiver. A little bit of a disappointment this past year. Michael Crabtree.
Yes, still young enough to have a solid production in his young career. It's going to come down to money. And you know what? I think he's the type of person where he's going to want to stick it to the 49ers, keep it in the division. I think he's going to end up being a St. Louis Ram. They need wide receiver help, and it would be a great tale of going from a perennial powerhouse in the 49ers to an up-and-coming team of the Rams.
I agree.
Coming back at you now. This is a big one. I hope you take him out of the North because it would make me feel better. But Ndamukong Suh.
Woo! Mr. Sue.
The Sue man.
Mr. Stomper.
Get him.
Talking about money, he's going to probably be one of the highest paid free agents.
$100 million guy.
Oh my God! And you know what? He deserves it. If you take away his on-field antics, he really is a dominant player. And I'm going to tell you where I think I see him going.
Go ahead.
The Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
I think he's going to go to the Cleveland Browns. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and the dog pound is going to love him.
Yeah, he's a Cleveland guy.
He's a Cleveland guy.
He's got that. He's a Midwest guy, too.
Oh, my God. Listen, at halftime,
he went to Nebraska?
He's going to go in the stands at halftime and hang out at the dog pound.
You know what? I would, too, actually.
Me too. Let me fire one right back at you. Here we go.
Go ahead.
This is your boy.
Who do you have?
Offensive lineman, Brian Bulaga.
Woo! I hope I'm wrong, and they re-sign him, but...
He's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, he is. I think he's gone. I think he goes to the New York Giants. They need offensive line help. They have Ben McAdoo there running the offense, and what seems to be the successor for Tom Coughlin.
See the connection?
Brian Bulaga will be a New York Giant and teach Mr. Pugh there how to be a great veteran lineman.
Would be a great mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. Last one I want to give you before we get into our next segment. Big Dog. Love this guy from the University of Idaho. Woo! Mike Iupati.
I only know one guy from Idaho, so I knew where you were going on that.
Perfect.
I only know one guy from Idaho. Mike Iupati, probably, in my opinion, the best free agent lineman out there. I see him going to San Diego Chargers.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
I do. I see him staying on the West Coast. I see him solidifying that San Diego line, which needs...
they need help.
Which needs help.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he's going to be a San Diego Charger.
That's a great place for him. Why not? If they could afford it, makes sense.
So now I got one more for you.
Okay.
Rapid fire here. Mr. Justin Houston.
Oh, this is a guy I want the Packers to sign. It won't happen, though. He's too much money on the open market. That's why I'm going to give him to the team who has the most money on the open market. I think he's going to be an Oakland Raider. I think him and Khalil Mack are going to put together nightmares for quarterbacks in that division. And that's a team on the rise, and I think this would be a great piece for them.
But why would you go there?
Why wouldn't you go there? Why not?
Because, Joe, they haven't been good since Jim Plunkett was there. They
have a quarterback in place. We saw glimpses of Latavius Murray and his production.
I do like Latavius Murray.
Give this team the pieces they need, and let's see what they do in the draft.
Okay.
Maybe they do a couple other things in free agency. Who knows?
I don't think
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think it's way out of the realm of possibility. I just when you're that good, I would go to a team that's going to win, and I don't think Oakland's going to win.
Would you go to the team if they paid you $15 million less?
100%, Joe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. We're going to get into our next segment. We gave you a couple free agencies where those guys might end up. This is I love this time of year.
Well, because this is your time of year.
Right, I love this time of year. Our mock drafts, which you will be able to see in full detail on our Facebook page, MGN the BOD. And what we want to do now, Matt, we're going to go through our top 10.
We'll go through 10 because
it's
we can't go through the 32. And you know what? MG and the BOD, what we're going to do is, since we added some shows, we're going to bring you a little bit of our mocks every week.
Right.
And right now we're at version 1.0. We normally do 3 versions. We'll finish at version 3.0.
Leading up to the draft.
Leading up to the draft, which will be the last show, April 27th,
Correct.
I believe. But let's do top 10. You want to do top 10?
Fair enough. I'll start you off.
We'll go team for team, and if we have the same person, we'll agree. If not, we'll disagree.
Start you off, Matty. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the number 1 overall pick. Who
All right,
taking?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's my feeling on this, and I'm going to try to keep this short. I believe they got to go quarterback, obviously, right? I believe it's going to be Marcus Mariota, who they eventually draft. Now, a lot of people say Jameis Winston. I don't think either one of these two quarterbacks deserve to be the number one overall pick, but I think Tampa Bay cannot afford to not draft them.
You said exactly what I wanted to say.
So Marcus Mariota is
I won't go back and forth with you. Marcus Mariota is the pick, I think.
Okay, so we both agree on number one?
Yes.
Okay, let's go right to number two, the Tennessee Titans, Joe.
Probably the best player in the draft they take, defensive tackle from USC, Leonard Williams. This kid is dominant. It's funny. He's 295, and they say for an interior defensive lineman, he potentially is underweight. This kid has speed and power. He is going to fit in great with that Titans defense, I think.
Best player in the draft.
Yes.
Leonard Williams, by the way, I have him too.
Okay.
So we're 2 for 2 right now.
Yes. Third overall selection belongs to the Jaguars. Who do you have?
I got Mr. Randy Watson. So listen, Joe, it's a little Coming to America.
I mean,
joke.
I get it,
Joe,
but I have a problem with this pick.
Joe, it's a Coming to America joke, Joe. Randy Gregory from Nebraska is the second best player in the
I don't like this guy, but I have him in the same spot too. It's not all there with him. But due to popular demand, and obviously, listen, we're not at the combine, although we watch it, and we can't see what these guys are doing on the field. Randy Gregory seems to be a nice fit in that Leo position for Gus Bradley in that defense. So I'm going to agree with you with Randy Gregory there.
So you have him number 3?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right, well, number 4 is the Oakland Raiders.
And this is where I was talking about before.
They mess it up all the time.
They are not messing it up this year. Wide receiver, Amari Cooper, Alabama.
I'm surprised.
Best wide receiver in the draft.
I'm surprised that I have Amari Cooper too, by the way. I'm surprised we're 4 for 4 right now because we are never 4 for 4.
We agree. We disagree.
By the way, people, let me just tell you this right now. We do our mocks. They're right here. We do them separately. We do not even discuss what we're picking.
If we did them together, we would have black eyes.
Yes.
So this is the first time we're hearing each other's picks.
And it's very, very odd to me that we have 4 for 4. But I have Amari Cooper also.
Okay.
Who's
number 5? Washington Redskins.
Okay.
Where do you have them going here?
Well, now I know where we skew right now because I'm going to throw a little curveball in there. I'm going to throw a little Dan Snyder because he wants to little retribution for the RG3 pick.
Okay.
And just because the Jets pick next and they never get what they want, I have the Washington Redskins picking Jameis Winston.
So you think this is the world and karma going against the Jets, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jameis Winston is going to be Washington Redskins. Listen, Snyder, he's big and bold. That's what he is. He's Jerry Jones Jr. is what he is.
Good comparison.
He's big and bold, and he knows deep down that RG3 is not the answer. Jameis Winston fits into Gruden's system.
Okay, and you're right. We are going to disagree here.
Absolutely.
This, for me, is easy. This is Landon Collins, strong safety from the University of Alabama. They haven't had anybody in the backfield of that defense since Sean Taylor, God rest his soul, who is a phenomenal player, by the way. This kid hits. He can play in the box. He's fast, and he can cover over the top. So my pick is Landon Collins.
Okay. Great player.
Phenomenal
Great player.
Number 6. The New York Jets.
New York Jets. I think you're up. New York Jets.
I actually have them taking Jameis Winston.
Okay.
I don't agree with the pick, but it is a need.
Me either.
Potentially, according to their board, best player available. So I go with the Jets with Jameis Winston.
Okay. I have him taking the outside linebacker, Dante Fowler from the University of Florida.
If I was a GM, I would probably put him at 3 over Randy.
I think he's a fantastic player.
6'3", about 250, give or take. Great wheels and a very good open field tackler.
I'll tell you what, I think Jets Nation will be very, very upset if they don't draft a quarterback, but they will not know how good Fowler is when they get him.
They're going to be on the move on this draft. Next, we have
Chicago Bears.
NFC North Bears. I actually have them taking Dante Fowler here. That defense is a mess. It is awful.
It's a disaster, Joe.
I mean, they need every level of defense there.
It's an absolute disaster.
And I'm giving them the best player who I think is going to be on my board when it's all said and done, and that's Dante Fowler, Florida University.
Well, I got him taking Landon Collins.
Okay.
So you just had Collins going.
Same side of the ball.
You had Collins going a few picks before, but I think we're in agreement that the Chicago Bears, their defense is just in shambles.
Moving on, number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. Who do you have?
Shane Ray from Missouri.
100% agreed.
They need whatever help they can on the defensive side of the ball.
Whoever is there, again, best player available on the defensive side of the ball, they need to take.
And especially now with Quinn there.
Yeah.
Listen to me. They are drafting defense. They are absolutely drafting defense.
Well, they don't need offense.
No, they don't need offense.
They can take a lineman, but I think their defense is so bad, that's what they'll do.
100%. I got him taking Shane Ray. Let's go right back. Number 9, the New York Football Giants.
This is a Tom Coughlin pick. This is getting bigger up front, meaner up front. And I think if they get Balaga, like I mentioned earlier, to go with Pugh, offensive tackle from Iowa, Brandon Schreff, number 1 offensive lineman on my board. He just has a mean streak. I love this kid.
Listen,
I really do.
Joey the BOD. I have him going there too.
This is ridiculous.
When you need an offensive lineman, guess where you go? You go to Iowa. Because that's what they do.
They're farm boys.
That's what they do.
They eat corn and kill cows.
That's what they do.
Live.
Oh my God.
It's a fantastic place to
I got him taking the same guy.
We're going to finish off our top 10 here with the St. Louis Rams. Matty, fire away.
I got him taking the offensive tackle from Stanford, Mr. Andres Pete.
Okay, I have him taking an offensive tackle, so we agree there. They are going with Lael Collins, LSU. I'm not a big fan of Pete. I think he's soft. Lael Collins is a guy who could grow into his body, get a little bit tougher.
I'm gonna say something here right now. I made this mock 2 days ago, and I had Lael Collins going much lower, and I think I made a mistake by that.
That's fair enough.
I really do.
This is only 1.0.
I really do think I made a mistake by that. I actually like your pick there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is our top 10. You're going to see more of it on our Facebook page. We'll go through the rest of it as our shows go on. But now we're going to get into a different segment. Questions. We actually have received some great emails.
We have.
We picked the 3 best, we thought. So I think, Matty, you're going to start off by asking me a question.
I will start off. Our first question is from Brian, and his question is directed towards the BOD. Josh Gordon. Wow, here's a name that we haven't talked about. Josh Gordon, is he on the fast track to being the biggest waste of talent? And if the Browns were to cut him, would you want him on your team, Joe?
That is a very good question. My answer is no. Great talent. He's not worth the headache. If I'm putting a team together, I'm putting together a good group of guys who can play ball because they're out there. This guy, time after time after time, is messing up. I don't tolerate that.
I agree.
I hope that he does find a home somewhere in the NFL because he is that good. But if he doesn't play this next year, it would not surprise me one bit if he goes to Canada to play for a year.
I agree.
Like a show me year. But at this point, now he's 28. You know, this is a bad situation for this kid. So, to answer your question, Brian, no, I do not want him on my team if I'm a GM.
I agree with you.
Go to our next question. Mike from Smithtown. This is directed towards Lee, MG over here. Is that beard real? And if so, did you purposely design it to look like an 80s porn bush, or did it just work out that way?
It's a great question.
It's a fair question,
It's a great question. It's a fair question, Mike, from Smithtown. It's a great question. My beard is grown just in case MG and the BOD does not take off and I can get back into the porn business. Because I was in there one time.
You're looking out for your future.
My future. I'm looking out for my children.
Right, fair enough.
I'm just providing. That's all I'm doing.
You may have more kids out there.
That's all I'm doing is providing.
For more people than you know.
Let me fire one back at you, Joe.
Oh, boy.
Jerry from Connecticut.
Jerry, how are you? Which
non-playoff team from this season has the best chance of making the playoffs next season?
Okay. I'm going to do you a favor, Big Jer. It's okay if I call you that. I'm going to give you one from the NFC and one from the AFC. In the NFC, I'm going to give you the Bears. I think with Coach John Fox there, they have a good offense in place. I think they'll do work on the defense, and I think they could be a wild card team. And the AFC, I've been saying it for years, and maybe this will be the year that I'm right. I'm putting Cleveland in the playoffs next year.
They should have made the playoffs this year.
They should have been. Again, quarterback situation is not very clear. I still like it with Hoyer. I really do. I think they have a young running back in place, a good offensive line, definitely a solid defense. And I think that this is the year that they reverse the curse and they sneak in there.
I don't disagree with you, Joe.
So that's my answer to Jerry.
Those are our emails. If you would like to ask MG or the BOD a question, you can email us at mgandthebod@yahoo.com. We will field any questions that you shoot at us.
And we have to tell you one more thing. Again, we definitely don't know everything.
However,
We know more than you.
We know more than you.
Till next time, folks. We look forward to seeing you. Stick with us, and we look forward to having a great year with you.
February 23rd. Search us on YouTube, MG and the BOD. Everybody, good night, and God bless America.
America.